Good afternoon and welcome to the Bar TV coverage of this round 5 Austbrokers Canberra Raiders Cup match. It's the cellar dwellers on the table today. Belconnen United Sharks are 9th, Gungahlin Bulls are 8th. But this should be a game with plenty of spirit. We are a little bit late due to an injury in the reserve grade game. Will McIntyre from the Gungahlin Bulls was down unconscious for a little while. They had to call the ambulance. He was moving as far as we're aware and communicating, but taken away for further tests. But we're about to get underway on a fairly cool afternoon here in the nation's capital. We've seen the ball placed on the tee twice here. Let's see if it's third time lucky. So it's the Belconnen United Sharks running to the left of your screen to the Wakefield Avenue end. The Gungahlin Bulls, and they hit it up through Jack Elliott to start them off and get up to about the 20. It's going to be a bit interesting to try and call where they are on the field for you this afternoon because our camera position, as you can see there, is not exactly elevated, and I'm less elevated. It's the old Frank Hyde card table on the sideline job here at the O'Connor enclosed oval this afternoon. My name, by the way, is Chris Coleman, and it is good to have your company wherever you may be. As we continue to roll through here, as we see Daniel Keir take it forward, gets it up over halfway. About 17 degrees. The instrumentation tells us it feels like 17 degrees. I'd like to know where that instrumentation is because it feels like it's about 10 degrees down here on the sideline in the shade. The first kick of the day gets over the head of Damien Denny, the Sharks fullback. He has to turn around, recovers eventually, gets back into the field of play, and that's about as far as he goes. Wrapped up in a tackle from a couple of Bulls players there. Sheen Lomax, one of them in the number 12 there, and the halfback Jake Scholes the other. It has been, I think we can safely say, a very tough season thus far for the Belconnen United Sharks. They are yet to win a game. Their points difference is minus 154. The Gungahlin Bulls, we've seen plenty of them already this season on Bar TV, just the way it has worked out. As we get a big run here, this is a good run. Oh, he's going to go a long way here because there is nobody in front of him other than the fullback. It's BJ Sione, puts the offload through to Matt Butts. Butts taken just inside the 20, or just outside the 20 by the looks of it. They'll spin it to the right here. Plenty of chances for the Sharks. Brown was involved across to Baker. They get over to the far side and the ball goes to ground, and a good promising attacking move. Looks like it come undone. That's gone backwards, says the referee. Denny was the man in there. I'm not sure who's got it over in the far corner. I think it might be Gaffer. Gaffer it is indeed. He's got the try, and the Sharks are the first on the board. Just 2 minutes into this game. It almost came horribly unstuck for them, but they've managed to hang on to it, hang on to their composure, and score over in the far corner. The conversion won't be the easiest. But let's check this out and see how this all evolved, because it really came from nothing. It came from the other end of the field. It was a huge run down from the big man, BJ Sione. He's a very big unit. And he was the man who set it all up before Gaffer scores the try over in the right-hand corner of this ground. So you can see this is after the big run. Long ball from Eason across to, I think it might have been Brown. It was. Then into Baker. It looked like it's going to go wrong there at that point, but the fullback, Denny, was very quick onto it. Worked out what to do. Saw Gaffer in space, and he gets the ball down for the first four-pointer of the afternoon. So, well, that's a good start for the Bulls. For the Sharks, I should say. They'll be happy with that. They need to do a little bit more than that, but scoring first, give you a nice lift. Let's see how Darcy Eason goes with the kick, kicking into the sun. Haven't seen much of the sun today. It came out about 5 minutes before kickoff, I reckon. Been plenty of rain. And as you can see by the picture there, the clouds roll in. How's he go with that? The touch judges move across to the side, but they hold the flags aloft, and Darcy Eason gets the first conversion. First points of the day with 3 minutes gone, nearly 4. And it is the Belconnen United Sharks leading 6-0. Courtesy of that Gaffer try. And the conversion from Darcy Eason. Now, where were we? Oh, we were talking about the seasons thus far. Yeah, so we've seen plenty of the Gungahlin Bulls this season. They won the first game against the defending premiers. And then it's all horribly gone wrong for them since then. They've lost 3 on the trot, so they'll be looking to regain their winning ways. Now that looked like Andrew Polizio coming up for the Sharks, was indeed. Drawn the penalty as well. This could get interesting here because we are right in the path of where the kicks are going to go. They kick to this side, so Denny goes the other way. Thank you, Damien Denny, the fullback. But I thought for just a second there he wasn't going to find touch. But he did. Chance for the Sharks to put points on points here. Takataki takes it forward. They spread right out across the field to the left. Quick hands here could prove interesting. They go through Baker. He's been involved in a couple of plays so far. Come across further to the left. Looked like it was going to be the cutout pass, but it wasn't. It was Eason on to Denny, I think the fullback in there. He's wrapped up in the tackle by a couple, including Michael Solis. And a little bit of a fumble in there, but we've got interference in the play of the ball. So it's a penalty to the Sharks. They've got a real chance here with a 6-point lead. Don't take the points. Keep going. They need to be able to get a lot of points on today, the Sharks. It's a big chance for them here to do just that. They take the tap. They go through Eason. Then on to Polizio. Polizio bounces off one, bounces off another. Wrapped up just a few metres short of the line. Go the short side. Charging through, BJ Sione looking towards the post. He's not far from them now. Centrefield play coming up for the Belconnen United Sharks. They lead 6-0. Unfamiliar territory for them this season to be leading. Now it's with Eason. It looks like Tino Sione. There's 2 Siones playing today. Over the far side of the ground, it's gone with Fai-Gaffa. Is it a try? Yes, it is. That looks again like Des Fai-Gaffa's got a double for the day. I think Kitione Vikash was involved as well on the way through. So you can see it come across. Here's the halfback, Eason. Big run there from Tino Sione. Oh, it's the fullback. Gee, he's been busy. There we go. Denny gets it on to Vikash. And I'm sure it was Fai-Gaffa who scored, but there was just so much traffic in there. It is a long way from us. We'll have another look. Thank you to the Bar TV video guys. This is a really good try. This is just never say die stuff. I'm pretty sure it is. We'll give it to him, and if it's wrong, we'll fix it up later. Yeah, after some consultation on the sideline, we're going to give him a double. 2 tries in 7 minutes, not a bad start to your day. Great to see the Sharks working it through, throwing it through the hands. And while the ball security hasn't quite been great, they've been able to recover when it has gone to ground. Faster than the Gungahlin Bulls have. Previous conversion from Eason wasn't easy. This one's even further out. Spiralling around, and I think they didn't even have the distance. May have had the line, but it certainly fell short. But Darcy Eason won't be too perturbed at the moment. He's got 1 in the books. His side has 2 tries on the board. And it is 10-0 to the Belconnen United Sharks over the Gungahlin Bulls. Here at the O'Connor enclosed oval. What have the Bulls got here? Bear in mind, this is the side that put the West Belconnen Warriors to the sword in round 1. The towering kick taken by Crane. He offloads it and gives it to Baker. Baker looked like he meant business. They're across to the right now. I suspect we're going to see a lot of work from this man, from Nangaiti. And now Darcy Eason once again. Like the spirit of this halfback as well. Another crack from Brown. Sends it across again to Baker. Just getting up to the halfway line. Kicked down into the corner. Now, this is clever because Rocco Sullivan was a long way away. The other winger wasn't back, and that's gone into touch. It's a difficult position there for the Gungahlin Bulls. They're going to start well and truly on the back foot on this next set. They haven't even, I don't think, they've been in attacking territory yet. If they have, it's only been brief. Reminder once again, we are broadcasting this on Bar TV. You can also talk to us during the live broadcast, obviously, by using the hashtag CR Cup. Love to know where you are watching the game from. So what can the Bulls do to get themselves out here? And what do the Sharks have in defence? Jordan Crane staying down for a little bit long there. Big hit from Polizio for them in defence. So Oppo looked like he was going to run it himself. Instead gives it to Elliott. Jack Elliott gets it almost to the halfway line. They're not making too many metres, and the kick comes from Oppo. Straight to Crane. That's a great take. Rebound straight away, and he's up over the 30, nearly to the 40-metre line. They're certainly looking the better side, and you've got to get up faster than that. Drury Low just taking far too long to get up. Jason Brown having a few words to say in there as well for the Sharks. So we'll see plenty here because where have they got it? That's 50-40. It's about the 40-metre mark. Crane gives it to BJ Sione. Sione like a battering ram into the Bulls' defence. And the crowd here at O'Connor Oval light up for a moment as he charges through. Now it's with Eason. Long ball. Gets it onto the other Sione, Tino Sione, to the fullback, Denny. Way over in the far corner of the ground. Can they make it 3 tries in about 10 minutes? Ball goes to ground, and I think it's been recovered. It goes backwards now from the Sharks, but we're going to get a knock on both ways. Now, which way has he ruled this first? I think he may have actually called it a Bulls knock on first. Possibly. The ball went to ground. We've seen that a lot from the Sharks. The ball went to ground. One of the Bulls players got onto it. Yeah. Everyone's in. Everyone's in the scrum. Halfbacks are at the ready. Am I imagining it that we don't actually have a ball out there? Oh, we do have a ball there. Jake Scholes has it. So the Bulls with the feed inside their own 20. They don't get too many yards off that first tackle. Across to the left, that's Jack Elliott again. He's already had a mountain of work today. On the fly through Sheen Lomax. Apologies if you're getting any wind noise there. It is starting to pick up a little bit now. The wind blowing here at the ground. Almost actually now directly down the ground from left to right on your screen. So it's at the back of the Gungahlin Bulls side in this first half. Scholes with this penalty sends the ball deep into the attacking part of the field. This is the first time we've had the chance to see this Gungahlin Bulls side in attack today. We're going to make a few extra metres in there. I think that may have been Trent Vaughan in the bottom of that. It was indeed. Oppo onto the big man in Skidmore. Skidmore continues to charge towards the line. Hard to tell whether that's the try line or the 10-metre from where I'm sitting. So we see a big charge from Elliott. Which way will they go? I think they're calling out to the right. They've got numbers to the right. And then they spin it back to the left. Very cleverly disguised play. Hay gets it onto Vaughan. Vaughan is flattened. Ball goes to ground. They picked it up, but I think it's gone into touch. Has indeed. Good defence from the Belconnen United Sharks. 15 gone, 10-0 the score here. If you've just joined us, a double to Des Fai-Gaffa for the Belconnen United Sharks. The game did start a little bit late this afternoon, about 15 minutes behind schedule due to an injury in reserve grade, but we're probably going to be dueling with darkness in the latter stages of the second half here. The Gungahlin Bulls require to tackle in numbers. They come left through Brown onto Crane. I'm impressed with Jordan Crane too. Listen to the centres, but seems to be playing more on the wing. Oh, we've got Matt Butts as well, actually. There we go. Gee, there's nothing. There's very little difference between the two of them. They're both standing in front of me. Do the Sharks fans get confused by that as well? Yeah, okay. I'm forgiven then. I've been told to look out for the boots. BJ Sione. Now that's with Jordan Crane. You saw the two of them standing there, Butts and Crane side by side. Crane with the kick for Matt Butts. He gets the ball. He gets it down. It's a try! Oh, the referees called it back. The referees called this back. Let's see why this has been called back. All I can guess is it's potentially a forward pass in here. That was okay. As you see, Crane cut on the inside. Must have been offside. Oh yeah. Well, when the yeah, probably was offside by about 1.5 meters there. Disappointing for the Belconnen United Sharks. Disappointing for Matt Butts as well. Explains why I was seeing Crane all over the place. I probably called Crane about 4 times when I should have been calling Butts. So my apologies there. They've both got black boots on. They've both got similar hairdos. They've both got similar build. They've both got similar height. Yeah, this is going to be a fun afternoon, isn't it? We are broadcasting, but I should remind you, from the old card table at the sideline job this afternoon. As the Bulls, after a penalty for offside, pick up a secondary penalty, and they are now well and truly in attacking territory. They're down by 10. We've had 17 minutes gone. And Drury Lowe takes it forward for them. About 20 metres. They come across to the left. Oppo at dummy half. Through Hay. And then in underneath all that was Keir. It's with Smith Shields. Very quick hands coming here from this Gungahlin Bulls side. They're back to the left again. Oppo through the half-back in Scholes. Ball goes to ground. It's a foot race. He'll need some support. He finds some. Absolutely flying. I think it's Vikash, Gideone Vikash. He's running across the field. He's got around a couple. It's like he's got spiders on him. Nobody wants to tackle him. They give it to Matt Butts. Butts heads for the line. He's down. Is he down? He's held. Nobody in defence here. The referee's got to let him play this. Denny quickly across to Vikash again, the man who set it all up. Just a couple of metres short. That's twice this afternoon. We've seen the Sharks go 3/4 of the length of the ground in the space of one tackle. Brown across the field. Now it's with Taki Taki. Taki Taki still going. They can't get him down. Referee calls held. They've lost about 10 metres, but they've got plenty of players across to the left. They give it to Tino Sione. Sione bustling and hustling towards the line. He's about 1 metre short. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4 of them to put him down. Desperate defence from the Bulls. They don't want to go more than 10 points down. Darcy Eason trying to stab at it with his foot there was Denny. Now it's been picked up by Jordan Crane. Crane puts it forward. Matt Butts to chase it up. And Hay taken in the in-goal area. It'll come back out under the post for a line dropout. So the Sharks will get another crack at this. Wow, such excitement this afternoon. So we've seen Kitty Vikash go 3/4 of the length of the field. We've also seen BJ Sione go maybe slightly less than that this afternoon. We've seen plenty of it. Check this out. I'm not quite sure what Denny was doing there. Crane, very quick kick, and Butts doing well there to follow up and make sure that Derek Hay couldn't get back into the field of play. There are 2 Butts out there, by the way. Matt Butts is the winger, and the lock for the Sharks in 13 is James Butts. And, well, they've made a horrible mess of that. What more can you say? Not a great deal, really. They really didn't handle that very well. And instead of getting some more attacking territory, instead it'll be the Bulls. Geez, what can you say? So the Bulls go across to the left. They drop it back to the support player in Drury Low. And the dummy half was Oppo. Now it's with Jack Elliott. Really does seem to be the focus of their attack today. Across to the left through Kia, then onto Lomax. Shane Lomax pushing. He'll be, about 5 metres out, I'd reckon, there. They'll come back to the right. Saw them disguise a play well there. McCaskill. It's his first real involvement for the day. Gets under a high one before he's wrapped up just short. Little dart from Oppo before he offloads. Essentially a wasted play. They've got to go deep. The kick comes up in the air. Was Michael Solis, the winger. There are a couple of others up involved in that as well. The ball has gone over the sideline and will be back out to the 20-metre line for the restart. 7-tackle restart coming for the Belconnen United Sharks. They withstand the pressure. They've scored first, they've scored second. To be frank, the Bulls haven't looked like scoring as yet. At the moment, it is one-way traffic for the Sharks. This man, Kitty Vikash, we've seen him a couple of times today. A real excitement machine. They come across to the right now through a couple of players, including Nangaitai. Keep going across to the left. A little juggle from Sione. I don't know whether he was shaping to pass, looking to dummy, or what he was doing, but he held on to it in the end. Now it's with Taki. He runs across field. Up over the 40. Ball pops out the back. It's picked up off the ground by Polizio. They'll come long ball. Now it's with BJ Sione. BJ tries to get out of the tackle, does get out of the tackle, pushes away another one like he's swatting away a fly at a barbecue. 35 metres out, midfield, last tackle. They come across to the left. The kick comes from Eason. It'll be taken in the in-goal area there by Hay, and just outside the in-goal area by the fullback. Now he's lost the ball forward here. What's going to be called here? The referee has called a penalty to the Bulls in there. Well, I don't know. For mine, it looked like O'Sullivan had the ball and then it just got raked out of him before the tackle, but before anything else. And now we've got time stopped here. Time stopped for a couple of reasons. One is because we've got to get the ball back in, and one of the ball boys has taken care of that for us now, but also a little conversation coming here. Who have we got? We've got Darcy Easton and Jason Brown from the Sharks in there. The referee, we got the touch here. I think it was Jack Elliott from the Bulls came over as well. A little bit of chit-chat going on out there, have we, John? John Croyder from the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, a few words just between a few of the players and the touchy then.
I can. Look, I'm not saying you should ever talk back to the officials, but that one's yours, mate. I'm still struggling to work out what the penalty was for there. It looked like it was just a great one-on-one strip for Rorke Sullivan, so I can understand why a couple of the Sharkies players were a little bit upset.
Yeah, they're a bit upset, but as long as they keep their heads, they've played really well so far, so they'll be looking to keep it up and finish off the half strongly. Absolutely. John Croyder from the Canberra Raiders is here this afternoon. You'll hear more from him at half-time in this game. Which way is it? A very clever play there from Oppo. Offloads the ball in there, but that's after he's been called held. So the Sharks will get it back. The Sharks fans behind me cheer somewhat raucously. They're very happy about that call.
A big charge here from Darcy Easton. Gee, he's having a game this afternoon. He's having a game. Vikash is having a game. Gaffer's having a go as well. Now, is that Taipata out there for the first time this afternoon? It is. Sonji Taipata. Across to the right through Nangaiti. Brown at the halfback. Tino Sione goes for the long ball. Gives it to Gaffer, who would get a hat trick if he can score from there. Mind you, that would be just about the try of the season if he did it from there, because I can tell you there was a lot of defence in his way. Taki on the charge one more time. About 15 minutes to half time here. The bomb comes off the boot of Eason. Butts and Crane. Butts taps it across. Now that's come off the hands of Derek Hay there. For mine should be 6 again. But it's being called a handover. It looked for mine like Derek Hay had got a hand on it. Tough call. Tough to be 100% certain of what I saw from here, but call it as we see it. They're on the charge. Now the Bulls, they really do look like a completely different outfit from the first week of the season, the last time I saw them play, and that was only a month ago. Came out up against a very strong defending premiers and gave them a bit of a lesson, but they really have struggled ever since. What can they do this time? O'Sullivan comes up through the dummy half roll. Chasing here is Denny. He's made it a long way back. He's the only player inside his own 30. He's got some support from Matt Butts. Butts directs the traffic. Denny spins through 360, thinks about going again. If that was Aussie rules, you'd hear the fans calling ball because he pumped through 720 degrees before he goes to ground in the tackle. And then the whistle comes. And time off for a bit more conversation now. Where's the conversation going to come from here? So you can see Jack Elliott from the Bulls has been called up. Looks like Jason Brown from the Sharks in there as well. Referee doing his best to make sure this game stays under control, that everyone stays on the same page. Don't mind seeing a referee stop the game for that kind of conversation. We do have someone down over there in the back line. It's Gaffer. He's up. I think he's just being assessed there by the by the physio very quickly while there was that break in play. Ball right in front of us, just before the halfway line. Jordan Crane gets it on to Polizio. Polizio up over halfway. Across to the right, and again through Easton. Gee, he's had a busy day. He gives it to Nangaiti. Got options to the left and right. They go to the right, give it across to Tino Sione. Got support on his outside. Maybe Baker again. Trying to push out. Gee, very willing here. Some of these Bulls players might be looking forward to the half-time break because they'll just get a break from being pummeled, because that has happened repeatedly from these Sharks players. Has he scored that? Is that Gaffer getting onto the back of that? I think it might be. I think he's got his hat-trick. It's come from absolutely nothing. It was a most innocuous-looking kick. We saw a couple of crunching pushes, but this is absolutely nothing. What is Tino Sione doing kicking? And it is an absolutely nothing-looking kick, but Des Gaffer, as though he was, you see it here, it's just a nothing kick. I've got to confess, I thought Taki might have been the one who was getting onto it, but instead, it's Des Gaffer, and he's got a first-half hat-trick. Got to love this game. You just got to love this game. You never know what you're going to get. Got a side here that's been struggling all season. And suddenly they're 14-0 up with a kick to come. And one bloke's got a hat-trick. Hasn't taken a great deal of space on my scorebook here. I've got TTT next to Phi Gaffer. And I've got a C and an X next to Eason. I tell you, he's got a real ritual going on the kick. So in the 2nd minute, the 7th minute, and the 28th minute, tries to Phi Gaffer. The first was converted, the second and the third were not. But at this stage, he is an absolute shoo-in for the man of the match this afternoon on Bar TV. Now, just some news from around the grounds. We mentioned that we'd had an ambulance called during reserve grade here. It was about the last minute of the reserve grade game. Indeed, they blew the whistle and called that game 1 minute and 15 seconds from time. We are hearing that a Tuggeranong Bushrangers player has been injured at the Yass there, and there's been a break so far of 20 minutes in the first grade game up at Yass. Yass Magpies have actually gone into the sheds. Tuggeranong have been in the sheds for a little while. The ambulance is on field. Now, the player has arm movement. That's the only word that I've had at this stage, but that doesn't sound pleasant. Hopefully we'll get some more information, and more importantly, hopefully everyone is okay there. But if we get any more information, we will bring it to you. BJ Sione has done a power of work today. He'll be very happy with his first half. In at dummy half is Brown. Charges it himself, straight off the ruck. Darcy Eason comes into play at dummy half. They go across to the left, and oh, geez, drops it absolutely cold. That's just a momentary brain fade from Brandon Nangaiti. We're going to get to see something you don't see very often here. You're going to get to see a scrum right on the 50-metre line. We don't see a lot of, as you can see, brain fade. There's just nothing in that. It's just, yeah. Possibly spent it before he had it. Story of me with my pocket money as a kid. That was Drury Lowe. Bounced around like a pinball. Gets up. Dummy half is Oppo. Now it's with Nick Sawyer. This man's a player I got plenty of time for. He had a very decent game a few weeks back when I last saw Gungahlin Bulls. This is more what we know the Bulls for. Plenty of working the ball through the hands there before setting it up for Sheen Lomax. They go across to the left. Kick comes through from Jake Scholes. And shepherded over the sideline by Damien Denny. Over the sideline in goal. We'll come back out to the 20 for the restart. As you'll be aware, our clock on the screen, not official. It's not far off. There's only about 7 seconds difference between what you've got on the clock on the screen and the game clock. So we're pretty close to the mark for today. What can the Sharkies do here? Can they get another one before half time? This will be about their best half of football for the season, I reckon. It has been a funny old season in the Canberra Raiders Cup. I'll go through their scores a bit later on. It's been a real up and down season. Nangaiti continues to go forward. Brown runs a few metres, gets it on to Taki. He managed to offload it in there. I think it was Tino Sione in there. I've got to tell you, when the ball is over there, I am looking through an absolute forest of players from where we sit. Sometimes we've got to take a punt as best we can. Sione with another kick. It's gone into the in-goal area. Now it's been fielded by Hay. Derek Hay tries to get back into the field of play. I think he might have just made it by a metre or so. He has. The Bulls have just been on the back foot for the entire 33 minutes that we've played so far. We've only seen them in opposition territory for a few minutes. Oh, cannonball tackle, just absolutely charging through. Who was that? Might have been Tino. It was Tino Sione. I'll have to find out what Scott Logan said to these boys during the week, because he must have given them an almighty rev. Now, Denny, what can he do? Gets up to the 40, runs across the 40, tries to get past Scholes, is wrapped up 10 metres on his own side of halfway. They come to the left. Now it's with Crane. Jordan Crane. Finally gets up to play the ball. They go to the left now. Matt Butts gets it up over halfway. Continues to push, makes another couple of metres. Brown to the right. Eason. Ball back on the inside. Nangaiti. Now Brown, and put it down again, Sione. Needs to get some stickum on his hands. Trent Vaughan's picked it up, but I think there was a whistle in there somewhere. There was a whistle in there, which for Trent Vaughan is a shame, because he was off to the races. There was nobody between him and the line. Damien Denny, the fullback for the Belconnen United Sharks, sucking in a couple of really big ones at the moment. He's done a lot of work today. Has had plenty of these Sharks players, but it's paid dividends. 5 minutes and change to half time, and they lead by 14 to nothing. But the Bulls looking to get something going before the break. Michael Solis nearly loses it, hangs on to it as he goes to ground. He's just in opposition territory. They go left. I think it's Skidmore. They continue to work it to the left through Brad Martin. They're starting to make a few metres here, but they're also starting to run out of tackles and run out of time before the break. A couple of cutout balls onto Sheen Lomax. They need to use him more. Last tackle called by the referee. They've got 20 metres to go. What can they do? Kick goes up from Hay, and it's fielded by Lowe. Drury Lowe puts the ball down, and I reckon we've got a try. Drury Lowe indeed has got a T next to his name in the books. And the Bulls, after a veritable drought, have the first score of the game, or their first score of the game on. Inch perfect kick. Lowe takes it, plants the ball down. Now, the clock's been stopped here. The ref's having a chat with a couple of players from the Sharks. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a conversation between the referee and the coaches at half-time too, just quietly. I reckon that there might just be a word or two being said there, just to, guys, we've had a good game. It's been played in good spirit. Let's keep it that way in the second half. But just a brief chat between the ref and, again, both captains there as the clock is put back on. So we can hold our screen clock for a couple of seconds. We can get them synced up, but it doesn't really matter. There's only about 20 seconds difference between them. What can Scholes do with this conversion attempt? Now, the word from Yass, I'll give you after this, that starts off to the right, it curves back to the left, and Jake Scholes narrows the gap to 8 points, 14 points to 6 with 3:45. The word through from Yass, apparently now 2 ambulances on the field at Yass, and it is a Tuggeranong Bushrangers player with reportedly either a dislocated or broken ankle. It is going to be a very, very long day for him up there at Yass, and our thoughts with him, and hopefully if he is okay, or as okay as he can be when reports like that are coming through. That's pretty nasty stuff. Taken by Hay, the kickoff. There's Brad Martin again in there, is it? No, actually it's Skidmore getting in underneath it. Now bouncing around in there is Michael Solis. He's got himself into the game a little bit on the receiving end of a high tackle, maybe a little bit lucky to get the call. He had gone low into the tackle. Oh, we got offside. Okay, so not a high tackle, offside instead. That's mine. There you go. Now you know exactly where we're broadcasting from. Have you heard that? That was bouncing off the small marquee that's over our table. So the Bulls, they've scored once. They've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so to bring up their second score for the game. The Sharks will be looking to hang on to this 8-point lead, though, if they can. On the charge for them is Nick Sawyer. They come across to the right through Scholes. Now on to Hay. Looked to pass. Held it instead. Made more metres by himself. They're coming across to the left this time through McCaskill. Had support from Skidmore. Chose not to use it. Oppo in at dummy half. Now it's across to Hay. Long ball to Lowe. Drury Lowe kicks through to, well, nobody in the end. It's fielded quite comfortably by BJ Sione. He's had a good season so far, I'm told, for the Sharks, and I can see why. Now we've got a potential injury here. No, it's all okay. I thought I'd heard a call to the ref, but no, it's all good. About 90 seconds to go before half-time. And I suspect the Sharks are going to be very, very content to just run this slowly. Now we've got a potential injury. It's Vikash down there. I hope he's okay. He has been an absolute excitement machine. I just hope he's had the wind knocked out of him here. So 90 seconds left on the clock here. That is Kitiani Vikash. I don't know whether we picked up anything happening to him there. Or looked fairly run-of-the-mill stuff. There's nothing in it. Yeah. We're checking the vision. We might as well show you the replay because it's going to be another... We can't do the replay on this one? Okay, there's nothing in it. It's just... must have been something going astray in there. So just we're following these details here through from Yass. Yeah, so that doesn't sound good up there. Do they have lights at Yass, John Kreuter from the Canberra Raiders? Do we know if there are lights available for them up there? Because it's going to be a long day up there. Yeah,
so we do have lights up at Walker Park over at Yass. Yes, so it's just been delayed over there, has it? I've been running the line, so I've come in halfway through this conversation.
Well, the break, let's see, how long ago was the break listed as a 20-minute break? The break was listed as a 20-minute break 15 minutes ago, and now there's a second ambulance on the field, so they're going to be running quite late. John Kreuter from the Canberra Raiders will have a chat with him in about 80 seconds' time as we see a charge down and the ball goes over the sideline. That could have been exciting if it had bounced the other way, but it hit the ground and ricocheted straight over the sideline. So, yeah, two ambulances, at the last report, on the field at Yass, and reportedly a Tuggeranong player with a broken or dislocated ankle. The teams went into the sheds for quite some time, but they're back out warming up and may indeed get back out there. We'll just have time, I'd reckon, for one play, potentially two, off this scrum, to be fed by the Sharks. I don't imagine they'd try anything fancy here. Taki goes for the run. Run it one out. Give it to Tino Sione. Well, look at that. They're going to get a bit more than this. Come across through Baker. He's been on and off. I reckon he's been off the field twice today, Baker, already. Rotating in that real utility role. Tino Sione now to BJ Sione. I'm really impressed with him today. He's made a couple of big bustling runs. And Tino's made a monster tackle. There's Tino now. Gives it across to Taipata as the siren sounds. The kick comes through. Picked up by Denny. Denny gives it across to Jordan Crane. Crane tries for the line, but he can't get there. Ball goes to ground, and that'll do us for the first 40 minutes. And as we go to the break, it is 14 points to 6 for the Belconnen United Sharks over the Gungahlin Bulls. John Kreuter from the Canberra Raiders with us. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, the Sharks have been mightily impressive over this first half. They've been really strong, especially their edges. BJ Sione, as you said, Chris, he's had a dominant first half, and then also 3 tries to Des Faiguffa, sorry. 3 tries to him. They have been going down that right edge for their points, but they look equally threatening down the left, and they had a disallowed try just down the left edge as well. Halftime probably couldn't come soon enough for them, though. They were starting to get caught in just a little bit of chit-chat with the referees, and their coach, Scott Logan, was saying a few things to the touch judge as well, and I think they'll enjoy this moment just to regather their heads and come out for a solid second half. The Bulls, though, I've been a little bit shocked by them. They've just been a little bit lethargic, I'd say. Yeah, flat. They look like they've got the power to be dominating up the middle. I think that's where they need to be going. Jack Elliott and Shannon McCaskill, they had a dominant performance against West Belconnen in that first round win, but they really need to be relying on those big men just to give them some sort of platform. Drury Lowe's moved into the centres, and he's looked really promising there. He's usually in the halves for them, but yeah, with that amount of creativity in the side, I just expect to see a little bit more for them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see a side here, and we haven't seen a great deal of attacking play from the Belconnen United Sharks during the course of this season. They really have struggled to put points on the board today, and I think the reason why is that we haven't seen the best ball security from them today. But when the ball has gone to ground, they've actually been able to recover it faster than their opposition. And no disrespect to the Gungahlin Bulls, but up against some of the say the Queanbeyan sides or up against the Yass Magpies, that stuff is just going to kill you. You are going to see the ball go to ground, and those especially like the Yass side, who I think it was a 10-try romp, wasn't it, over Belconnen United in their first meeting of the season. You can see how that came to pass just from what we've seen here today and from what we saw from Yass a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, with a new coach, Scott Logan, coming into the side, it takes a while for just to be able, his message to be able to come across. Also, they've welcomed back a couple of SG Ball players, Canberra Raiders players, into their side, and that not only bolsters their first grade side, but also the reserve grade as well. And once you've got all grades firing, it's a lot easier to bring someone in when things aren't going that well. So the thing that does worry me, though, particularly, is just the fact that even though the Bulls haven't been doing well, they haven't played Yass yet. They haven't played either Queanbeyan side. While the Belconnen Sharks, they've played all three of those sides. So it's just a bit interesting just to see how these teams react as the season goes on and more games are played out.
Now, what was it last week? It was the Sharks had the Roos last week, didn't they? Yeah, and it was 50-10, and the Bulls had the Blues last week, 34-18. Next week, of course, we look forward. It'll be a stiff task for the Belconnen United Sharks. They're up against West Belconnen next week, and Gungahlin probably looking forward to next week. It's a home game against Goulburn. I reckon that Gungahlin may just fancy their chances at home against Goulburn as opposed to up the highway. Yeah,
Goulburn have been a bit of a... They were disappointing last year. They're rebuilding the club, but they've got some really good young players coming through there. So I don't think it gets any easier, to be honest, for them. As you said, like who do you say the Sharks have got next week? They had
Sharks next week got West Bell.
Yeah, and West Belconnen. West Belconnen they've been in every single one of their matches that I've seen. They just haven't been able to get the win. So yeah, Belconnen derby would be a very fiery encounter, I imagine.
Yeah, so that game happening at Kipax at the Raiders Belconnen ground. So the ladder at the moment, you've got the Queanbeyan Blues sitting there up at, very, very happy on 8 points. Yass on 7, the Woden Valley Rams on 7. Now remember, the Rams beat the Sharks a couple of weeks ago, but that game was in the balance right up to the very end. So, the Sharks perhaps a little bit better than their position, their parlous position on the competition table would suggest at the moment. The Roos in 4th on 6 points. The Bush Rangers and the Warriors on 4. The Goulburn Workers, Bulldogs and the Gungahlin Bulls on 2 apiece. So, again, that'll be an interesting fixture next week with the Sharks yet to open their account. I fancy them today. I reckon that they may just... what they need is they need some points early in this second half. If the Bulls score next and do it in the first 5 minutes, they're just going to suddenly... You'll see the lights come back on. We saw it for the Bulls back in week 1 up against West Belconnen, didn't we? Where the Bulls, once they got a bit of momentum, once they got a bit of a roll on, they looked like a completely different side. Yeah,
this Gungahlin outfit, they finished in the top 4 last season. They played finals. They know what it takes to win. From Belconnen, what they need to do is they need to just stop bickering with the referee and just control what they can. And I'd love to see them just try and get out to the edges fairly early, because they're really dominating around there, especially with BJ Sione. I'd love to see him get some nice early ball.
Indeed, he's been phenomenal today. Tino Sione, when was the last time you saw a number 10 with a grubber kick through for the winger to get onto and score? That's just about the try of the day for mine for Fai Gaffer. But yeah, he's been a real pocket rocket out there. I'm trying to think if there's anyone here for the Sharks who really hasn't done their bit. Denny's been very strong in fullback. Matt Butts on the wing on the near side, and Jordan Crane working well as a wing and centre combination. We've seen Vikash actually run out on the wing a couple of times, also move up and play in the forwards on a couple of occasions as well. Fai Gaffer's been great over there on the wing. Actually, I'll say we haven't seen much of Lorenzo Leapai. They're 5'8". We haven't seen a lot of the 5'8".
Yeah, I was having a look during the week. He's actually was playing in the under-18s last week, so he's gone straight from 18s to first grade. So it's understandable that he's taking a bit of time just finding his feet. But I've been really impressed with their halfback, Darcy Easton. He's really taken control just around the ruck, really looking to move the ball into the wings. I've seen he does favour kicking towards his left. He does like to go that way. Most of the tries have come on the other side, but I would be very surprised if he hasn't got a hand in another try this afternoon.
No, indeed. And Leapai, I'm not talking him down. I just don't think he's had too many opportunities because the other six backs are doing quite nicely. The forwards, Nangaido, Brown, both the Sionis, Taki, have all been very strong there as well. So as we sit here at half-time, it is 14 points to 6, Belconnen United Sharks over Gungahlin Bulls. John Croydon from the Canberra Raiders. Good to speak to you this afternoon, my friend.
Good to speak to you too, Chris.
We'll take a very short break and come back with the second half soon here on Bar TV. So welcome back for the second half of this game between the Belconnen United Sharks and the Gungahlin Bulls on Bar TV. Chris Coleman with you as we bring you all the action each week from the Austbrokers Canberra Raiders Cup selected fixture, our match of the day today, and it has lived up to the billing so far too, just quietly. This has been a cracker, 14 points to 6. The Sharks lead the Bulls at the moment. Next week we will be at Greenway for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers versus the Woden Valley Rams, which should be a very exciting affair. And I should also give a quick shout out to a few friends of mine in Melbourne who are attending our 30-year high school reunion tonight, and disappointed that I couldn't be there, fellas, but I know that you will have a great time there. All the class of 1987 from CBC St Kilda have a fantastic time, fellas, and I look forward to catching up with you down the track. Get along to some Storm games if you don't already do that down there. I might catch up. I might go down when the Storm play the Raiders if that happens in Melbourne this year. We're back underway. 14 points to 6 is the scoreline here, and the Sharks will want to get on the board. They scored early in the first half on two occasions, both the second and the 7th minute. And I'd reckon a similar effort from them here today in the second half may just be enough for them to get up and over this Gungahlin Bulls side. So they come charging through up by a Taki, almost up to the halfway. Across to the left, cut-out ball. Finds Leafa. Montel Leafa didn't see a lot of action in the first half. Kick comes downfield. There's nobody at home for the Bulls. It's going to bounce up. They're lucky it bounced up and Bramich was able to get onto it. I don't recall calling Bramich's name at all in the first half. And again, in that far corner where he would have been in the first half. It's like trying to see through a forest, as we're calling from the sideline. So it's the Bulls. They're on the charge one more time. Coming up through O'Sullivan. They come across to the right. McCaskill. No, not McCaskill, actually Skidmore. He's been involved a lot more than I was expecting today. Now it's with Sheen Lomax. Lomax pushes off one, takes a couple with him in the tackle. 10 metres into opposition territory. Go left. And the no-look pass picked up off the ground by Trent Vaughan. And Vaughan is bustled into touch there. The referee's blown the whistle for a penalty here. Now we got the no-look pass came there. And I don't think anybody was expecting it. Vaughan did well just to get onto it, find himself into space. Jason Brown, the disappointed captain. So you see this cuts past. Vaughan picks it up. Oh, it's the sling on the jumper, I suspect, that has upset the referee. As we come back to live action. Skidmore pushing towards the line. Slowish play the ball. Scholes now on to Hay. Stepping, brought to ground. Across to the right through Scholes. And you'd think when the sun comes out it makes it easier to see. Oh, it's just increased the glare from there. The ball's gone free. And it's another penalty for offside. The weight of possession for the Bulls here may just start to tell in a moment. This is their third set, and they're well down inside the 10. And underneath that was Brad Martin. They come across to the left through Sawyer. Sawyer charges for the line. A couple of people in the tackle, including Baker. He's been very busy today. Now it's with McCaskill across to the left. That's Skidmore. Just short of the line. Longish ball to Scholes. Across through hands to Vaughan. Vaughan looks for the line. Bounces out of the tackle. Bounces into the second. He's gone down. Has he got it down, Vaughan? We're waiting for the call. He's been called, held up. There we go. The Belconnen United Sharks fans happy. And I'm not seeing any great objection from Vaughan, so I suspect he knew he'd been held up as well. Play resumes from 10 metres out. They spin it quickly across the field. That's with Shannon McCaskill. Seems to be a bit more spring in the step of the Bulls at the moment. Now it's with Scholes. And the ball goes to ground. Vaughan, who's been in everything here, couldn't get a handle on it. And now we see Kitty Vikash. Well, he's run 40 metres and made 5. Quick ball movement from the Sharks. It's swatted to ground. Now, that's been called as a knock on. And that's a tough call. Line ball. Swatted to ground. And the Sharks again coming over for a conversation through their captain, Jason Brown. It'll be a scrum from right in front of the posts. As we wait for the ball to go in. Which way will they go? They've only got 2 to the left, so they'll go to the right. They do indeed go to the right. It's with Hay. Takes it himself. Looks like a 3-on-2 overlap on that far side, but they come back on the inside through Sawyer. He's smashed to the ground. Baker, one of the tacklers. To the left they go again, through McCaskill. Back onto Scholes, through hands to Lomax. Really love to see Lomax just wind up and go at some stage. Oppo, he was impressive in their first win of the season. Looking to pilot their second one at the moment. They can't get through this very sturdy Belconnen United defence. O'Sullivan has a go. Last tackle. Pick and go, to use the old rugby term. And Martin is held up short of the line. Great defence from the Belconnen United Sharks. It'll be a handover. We've had 6 minutes gone in the second half. No score since half time. It is still 14 points to 6. The Sharks just taking an extra moment to get up. Jason Brown down there just maybe a little bit winded. Creep it slowly out. Vikash brings it up from dummy half. Unceremoniously bundled to the turf. Across to the left now. Oh, thank you, Mother, for the rabbits. Hit of the day, but it's come from the attacking player. Oh, fantastic. Kick downfield from Brown. Goes, oh, it doesn't go into touch. It's knocked back in by O'Sullivan. Bramich gets it. Gets past one. If he can get past the next couple, there's a gap there, but he can't get past the next couple. In fact, that can't tickle to have Tino Sione land on you after you've been brought to a screeching halt. Bulls very quick to get back on side. All bar two of them on side very, very quickly. It's the fullback O'Sullivan who has to try and take it up. Now it's with Michael Solis running straight up the middle of the park, the winger. 10 short of halfway. They go left. Just running one up a lot of the time.
Here he comes!
Skidmore again. Now it's with Oppo. Look away past a Lomax. Lomax needs to be given. He needs to be hit when he's on the fly. When he's up to speed. It'll be very, very difficult to stop. Kick across field. Came from Hay. Way over in the far corner. I think it's actually gone dead. It's a bit hard to tell. The referee's coming across. Touch judges. We've got a try over in the far corner. Well, there you go. Where we're sitting here, looked like it had gone dead. Let's see what we can tell you on this, because that, as I've said on a couple of occasions from where we're calling, it is very hard to see what's going on over there. Slightly elevated camera position. So that's the kick comes from Hay. Oh, and a secondary kick has come through, and that's why it's been sorted. I reckon that's Drury Lowe in there. We'll go again as we see the first kick comes up, fielded very quickly, socket off the ground, and Drury Lowe has read it better than anyone else. And he's got onto that. There can't be more than 2 inches between where the ball landed and the line. It's got to be way over there. What a bizarre game of football we've got. We've had 3 tries to Des Fai-Gaffa from the Sharks, and now we've got 2 tries from Drury Lowe for the Bulls. This will not be an easy kick. Maybe he's got a bit more than 2 inches, but not much. And if you can see, if you can do a little bit of analysis work there, you can see the shadow from the ball is actually basically means that Jake Scholes is kicking directly into the sun, and the sun is very, very low. Ball comes off the tee. Yeah, so he's kicking directly into the sun. So effectively, he's just going to kick it towards the big ball of fire and let gravity do the rest. Because I can guarantee you won't be able to see those goalposts. 14-10 remains the score. Half an hour to go. If I was a betting man, I'd say, well, the next score will be a Drury Lowe try and it won't be converted. If you believe in patterns and that kind of stuff happening, let's see how we go. With half an hour remaining, 4 points the difference. We've got the close one this afternoon, and that's a pretty ordinary kickoff. That's just giving up free possession. He's kicked that clean out of the end of the park. We've got some more bad news coming through from Yass for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers that I'll share with you in just a moment. Actually, I'll do this now while we're down at this end of the ground. Word is that Michael Brophy now for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers has done his arm or a shoulder or a collarbone. His arm's been put into a makeshift sling of his jersey and he's off. And then a minute later the Bushrangers have scored. So the Bushrangers are leading 12-10. That game just about to go to half-time there. It'll be a shortened half-time break and it will go late. But I don't know who the player at Yass was with the broken or dislocated ankle. I don't have any detail of that. And also I can't tell you much more than Michael Brophy off with his arm slung in his jersey, but that's what we've got at the moment. 14 points to 10 here at O'Connor Enclosed Oval. The Sharks go to the sky, getting underneath it. Oh, he's lost it. Is the Bulls in there? Is that Drury Lowe down there? That might be Sam Bramich, actually, Samuel Bramich. Lost the ball, and luckily enough for him that it has gone over the sideline and into touch. He just was completely wrong-footed there, just completely misread that, Bramich. Discussion between Polizio and BJ Sione for the Sharks about who was going into the scrum. BJ Sione won the toss. He's in. He packs down in the front row. Sharks on the attack from just a few metres out. And there is that man, Polizio, just pushing and shoving, gets his way up to about 5 metres out. They're across to the right through Nangaiti. Couple of minutes to go. Do they run from dummy half? No. Go long ball out to the left. And getting onto it is Jordan Crane, and he's in for a try. Crane was very busy in the first half. We haven't seen much of him since the break, but he puts that one down over the stripe, and the Sharks lead 18-10. Let's check this out now. Sharp play here. Crane hit at speed, and there was just never any chance of stopping him. There was no real option to stop him. He had the one to beat, and that was Michael Solis. Solis had come up out of the line. Crane in for the try. Mentioned a few minutes ago that they could potentially, the Bulls, be trying to hit Sheen Lomax with a little bit more pace on his belt, and that, I think, is what they did there with Jordan Crane, the Belconnen United Sharks. Have we seen an easy conversion today? I don't think we have. Every try has been scored in the corner. So we've got another difficult conversion attempt coming up for Darcy Eason. Darcy 1 from 3 so far today. Just a couple of steps back and across. And then does this little spin. What is the routine? It's almost like Torval and Dean have come back in rugby league land, I tell you. Just put a bit of Ravel's Bolero to that, and it'll get a 6.0 from the East German judge every single time. Eason comes in. That's not a bad-looking kick. It just fades away at the end. Score remains 18 points to 10. Belconnen United Sharks over the Gungahlin Bulls. We've got about 24 minutes remaining in this one. It has not been a day for the goal kickers, but then again, nobody's done them any favours. All we've seen are conversion attempts from way out wide. High kickoff. Here's BJ Sione, and look how many metres he makes in the tackle there. He just drags opposition players with him. He certainly set himself up for a big day. The Sharks may be about to get their first win of the season. 24 minutes remaining. They're 8 points up. Call for some interference in the play of the ball as Brown had to do a little bit of fancy footwork to get into it. Comes up for the next one. Plenty of options. They give it to Polizio. Polizio over the halfway line. Cross through hands. In fact, hanging on to it. Good little play from Tino Sione. Gives them the opportunity to go back to the left now through Taki Taki. Going for the sky is Eason. It's a long way up. O'Sullivan underneath it. He gets it. He loses it. The ball's come free. And he's called that a knock-on against Rourke O'Sullivan. So this will be a real test of the resolve of the Gungahlin Bulls. They have not had an easy day. They have withstood an awful lot of pressure. 18 points to 10. They've only conceded the 4 tries. Check this out as it comes up. Towering bomb from Eason. And then getting in underneath it is O'Sullivan, and he's just completely lost that. Never really stuck. Now the Sharks are spread out all the way across to the left. But I'm just wondering whether they'll go to the right. They don't. They go left, and bouncing out of the tackle there is Taki Taki. He gets to the line. He gets over the line. What's the referee going to call? He's going to call the held up. First tackle. I just wonder whether it would have been a better option there to go the blind side with Crane and Matt Butts. Both speedy. So back out to the 10-metre line we go with Tino Sione. Long ball. Vikash has got close to the line. He keeps pushing. Ball comes back on the inside to Vikash, and I think he's lost it to the opposition. He has. Attacking raid comes to nothing. And a big hit there. Absolutely flattened, and it was Taipata. Songji Taipata, the tackler. A little bit of help from Tino Sione, who has been an absolute bundle. And Sione, now that's a penalty. You can't do that. He's just turned, waited. It's not, look, under the dictionary definition, it wouldn't be a shoulder charge. But he's just turned sideways on. There's no attempt to make the tackle for mine. He's just turned sideways on. Done his best to act as a speed bump. You see him there. He's just dropped the shoulder into him. There's no charge. Just bang. And Taki Taki wrapping it all up there now. This will take us a couple of minutes to get resolved. And I've got to confess, I haven't picked up who that might be down there. Let's see what we can find. You can see is that his knee that he's grabbing there? Just if we can run this for an extra second, he just seems to really grab at the knee there, doesn't he? Well, he's up. He's limping off. Where's that gone? Through for the grandstand behind us. Well, the Bulls get up to halfway, so Jesse Smith-Shields, we haven't seen a lot of him today. It's up to halfway. In fact, it was Smith-Shields. There we go. Yeah, it's Trent Vaughan, by the way. The player, he's just seeing in the edge of your shot there. He's still testing that right knee a little bit gingerly, but could have been a whole lot worse. So good to see that he's up and about and okay. They come across to the right. Hay spins around, tries to get past, can't do it. Scholes. Now it's O'Sullivan. Ball goes high in the air, and it's picked up by Matt Butts for the Belconnen United Sharks. Take the time to get out of the corner. Still 20 minutes to go in this one. 8 points the difference. We've got another Bulls player down in the back plate. He's up and okay now. Brown in at dummy half. They come across to the left. Might have been Taipata. The light is starting to get a little bit dim here at the ground as the shadows spread across. Brown kicks it across. It's actually a lot harder to pick up over there too because it goes from dark to light to dark to light. But O'Sullivan charging up, flying into the tackle there was Tino Sione. That really can't tickle Vaughan. Brought to ground now by Tino Sione. He's done a load of work in defence. The last time they met was when Sione used just the shoulder and nothing else. Now Sam Bramich. The Bulls are keeping it all very, very simple. Scholes across through Hay. Now to Martin. Brad Martin continues to push and continues to push. Referee calls held. Now they're off to the left with Hay. Long ball that was with Sheen Lomax. We wanted to see him actually hit with the ball at speed. He's managed to actually pull a penalty out of that. Quick tap and it goes to McCaskill. McCaskill short of the halfway line, or short of the try line, I should say, not by much. They come back to the left. Getting in there is Daniel Keir, charging. Still going Keir. He's got that down, I reckon. Has he got it down over the line? No, he's held up. Well, if not for the fact that we're going to go back to the 10-metre line, I'd love to see a replay on that, but we won't have time because it's going to come back. We'll stay with the attack. Scholes goes left, finds Lomax. Lomax continuing, keeps going. He's down. Scholes coming in, playing a lot of dummy half now. Goes across through McCaskill. Cut out ball, finds support and a big hit. I think Skidmore who got taken. No, it was Sawyer who got taken indeed. They come back to the left again through Elliott. Elliott charging, going, and he'll get in and score right under the posts. So it's a try to Jack Elliott. We're back to a 4-point game with a kick to come. It could be 2 the difference very, very soon. Weight of possession telling there. Let's see what we've got. So it's just a simple play across to the right. We'll just change the point of attack. Jack Elliott, big man, bounces off the first attempt to tackle and there's no one there to follow him because, well, there was just no one there. Sudden change in direction. And the pattern of tries being scored way out wide finally broken. You can bet Jake Scholes is happy about that. He's right in front here. Shouldn't miss this. Could almost sneeze and put it over. And he does indeed. So what are we at? 64 minutes. 18 points to 16. Off the back of the Scholes try. Converted. So the Elliott try converted by Scholes. Well, got to say, Gungahlin haven't looked like leading this game at any stage of proceedings today, but here they are. They find themselves with 15 and a half left on the clock. Just 2 points down. The Sharks might just be getting a little bit nervous here. Crunching tackle dispatched by BJ Sione. Bulls continuing to make yards. The Sharks are just starting to look a little bit tired. Keir with a quick pass that gets knocked to ground. So we'll come back for the knock-on eventually. Just wonder what the Sharks have got left in the tank. They've got 15 minutes to try and hold on to a 2-point lead, and if you start playing in that frame of mind, that's very, very dangerous. They need to score again. First half, we had a scrum fed exactly on the halfway line. Where's this one going to be? It's going to be not quite exact. There you go. That's what I'm saying. It's rare to see it exactly on the halfway line. This one, well, I fit into the second row, was about a metre off or half a metre off. Taki takes it up for the first hit for the Sharks. These sides are giving everything. There's a couple of guys out there who are almost dead on their feet. Baker loses the ball in the tackle. Bulls pick it up. And the big charge comes through from Shane Lomax. Showing his speed there. Flops back down on the ball, trying to pull the tackle. Now, the tackle count starts at this point. Jesse Smith-Shields. Flattened by 3 in the tackle, including Sione and Polizio. They continue to run straight up the middle to the Bulls, and it's McCaskill. Scholes finds Hay. Long ball. Almost nobody. Solace out there, it is. Lowe brings it back in. Finds O'Sullivan. Ducks underneath the tackle from Baker. Makes another couple of metres. They're back to the short side. It's with Lowe once again. You can see the ultimate destination for the Bulls just in the back of the picture there. Kick comes from Hay. Where does it go? Well, it's well fielded in the in-goal area. And the Sharks repel yet another one. 13 to go. 2 points the difference. And it's Crane bringing it up. Now it's Baker. Just need an injection of spark from somewhere. Taki might have been able to provide that, but instead he loses the ball, turns around and dives on it, but it'll be a scrum to go to be fed by the Bulls. 12 and a half to go. And the scrum feed from the Bulls, they'll be, 50, 40, about 33 metres out. Okay, so he's lost that in an attempt to pass it to Vikash. We wait for the scrum to go. Said at half-time the Bulls would need to score a couple of times. They scored once this half. One more may just be enough. It hasn't been a high-scoring game. 18 points to 16, 12 minutes to go. Across to the left, Jesse Smith-Shields. Lifted in the tackle. Scholes makes a few more metres on the offload. Oppo into dummy half. Goes to his right, finds McCaskill. The big man pushes towards the line. It's about 15 out, I guess. With Lomax. A couple of quick sets of hands there. Across to the left finds Jack Elliott. Elliott pushes towards the line again. Can he get a double himself? He's pushing and now he's pushed back. Jake Scholes gets in to try and give him a hand forward. That's never really going to work. Scholes finds Oppo. Oppo charges. Oppo steps to the right, plants the ball and scores, and suddenly the Bulls are in front. Well, you could see that coming. It's just as though the Bulls have lifted in intensity in the last 15 minutes, and the Sharks, well, they put it all out there in the first half. Let's check this out. This is really a fairly simple try for Oppo in the end. Decent play of the ball. The perils of not setting up man on man. Leaving a big gap, and Sato Ketia Oppo scores the try. Now it looks like Daniel Keir is coming up to take this conversion. It suggests to me that Jake Scholes may be off. Scholes, he was 2 from 3, and one of those was from right out wide. So Keir, no fancy footwork from him, just a very, very long pause. Comes in, kicks. Well, does his best to put it outside the left post, but it stays in. And the Belconnen United Sharks fans behind me, who've been quite vocal for most of the day, are suddenly quietening down a little bit. 9.5 to go. It is 18 points to 22. The visiting team get in front courtesy of that Oppo try. He really got in and scored that almost without a hand being laid on him. It's a big, deep kickoff. It bounces once, bounces twice, goes over the line. No, it's bounced over the line. So that's twice today. Twice in this half of football, indeed. We've seen the Sharks kick off, restart, and just give up a penalty straight away by kicking it too deep. Second half's underway at Yass, 12 points to 10, the Bushrangers over the Magpies in that game to the north. I just wonder whether the Bulls might be about to run away with this. They really do look as though they've still got energy left, and the Sharks, I just don't think there's much in the tank. They really are starting to look very, very tired. Mind you, we've seen them on 2 occasions go 75 metres off intercepts today, so there's still the chance for them to bounce back. McCaskill takes it forward for the Bulls. Across to the left through Oppo. A very quick offload, didn't he? Through his goals. Oppo once again, and yeah, the wheels are starting to fall off here as Samuel Bramich scores over in the corner, unopposed. And you've got a feel for the Sharks. They've given it everything today, and they're going to come up short. 2 tries in about 3 minutes. You can see here, you see he goes over without a hand being laid on him there. Bramich really hardly sighted for much of the game today. That's just textbook stuff. From the play of the ball, to the hooker, to the winger, and the try is scored. This will not be an easy conversion though. Right over on the corner. The Magpies have taken the lead, by the way, in the other game. They've extended their lead. 16. No, they've taken the lead. There we go, 16 points to 12. Magpies over Tuggeranong with about half an hour to play in that game up at Yass. Well, quite literally the sideline conversion attempt coming up here from Daniel Keir. There's the twists and turns of rugby league. The first one was from directly in front. He made it look pretty awkward. See how he goes with the most difficult conversion you can get from right on the sideline. You can see it there. There's no more than an inch between the tee and the sideline, and that's pretty good. Well, he's done that one. Absolutely no problem at all. So he makes the one from in front look difficult. The one from the sideline look very, very easy, and now it's 18 points to 28. 6 minutes remaining, and a game that for 70 minutes really looked like it was going to belong to the Belconnen United Sharks. Now I would suspect firmly in the pocket of the Gungahlin Bulls. Quite a turnaround, John Croyder.
Yeah, it's been quite a turnaround, and Gungahlin have just really lifted when they needed to, and that was through their captain Jackie Elliott with a well-timed try, and now they've with the Sharks. The heads have just dropped a little bit, and the Bulls have really made them pay.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much that first half took out of the Sharks. They had a lot of attacking opportunities, and they just couldn't convert them all, and you can see they're just not as quick back into the line now in defence. And, that's just so quick. The Bulls side are still it's just far fitter out there as we see Nick Sawyer making up a few metres for them. So they're 8 metres into the attacking territory. Last tackle called. Come left. Through Oppo with the kick for the sideline, and it's into touch. Touch judge was very keen with the flag there. And we've got a communication of some sort here. Oh, that's why the flag's gone up. I think you were saying, hey, there's a player down in back play. Who's that? Is that? Can't tell. Very hard when he's face down in the turf, and there's trainer's got his hand right on the number. I think it might be Polizio. Not entirely sure. It is. Yeah, it's Polizio. Andrew Polizio. Didn't see what happened to him.
No, I didn't, but that'll be a blow if he's out. No, it looks like he's fine now. But when the Bulls were scoring their quick tries, Policio, he was the guy who was rallying the rest of the team around them and really giving them a bit of a lift. So he's been really important for them this afternoon.
Well, the Sharks are going to go home without the 2 points this afternoon. That's disappointing for them. But what they've got to take out of today is 70 minutes that they've basically ruled the roost this afternoon. And I think really it does look like it's just a fitness issue, that they seem to have run out of steam in the last few minutes in this game. So there's 4 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock. The Sharks have it. Who's to say though they're not going to score twice in 5 minutes? They did it at the start of the game. They could do it to finish the game as well. Brown runs it from dummy half. No, doesn't run it from dummy half. Goes for the pass, and he should have run it from dummy half. That's all we'll say at this point. He was certainly the way he was moving, and I think it was the fact that he'd gone for the dummy. He'd set it up as though he was going to go for the run, the dummy play, and instead, yeah, that's pretty much it. It just didn't quite work out. So it's yet more play for the Bulls. 4 minutes on remaining in this one. As we wait for the scrum to go down. No urgency from either side here. This one's going to peter out a little bit now. But what can the Bulls do to bring it to a close? Smith-Shields takes it forward. They've got Sawyer. It goes to that man. It takes 3 to bring him down. I really am a fan of him. Great impact player off the bench for the Bulls today. Scholes across to the right, finds Sheen Lomax. Lomax pushes, gets up over the 10-metre line now. Scholes swings around, gives it to Hayes running the angles. Now with Oppo. Not sure who's got it in there. It might be Daniel Keir again. It is. They go across to the right. Through the hooker, Oppo. Quick hands, right across the field. They find in there Brad Martin. Martin short of the line. This might be the last tackle. Ball comes free. And a penalty. Starting to get quite dark here. Now the sun making its presence felt on the upper levels of the office blocks over on Northbourne Avenue, and that's about it. And I think we can say we've reached the point where just about everyone's had enough. We've got the penalty here. The Gungahlin Bulls have decided with 2.5 remaining on the clock, they're going to take the shot for goal, even though they've got a 10-point lead. So we may start our end of game wrap while this takes the next 60 seconds or so to go through. It was half-time, it was 14 points to 6 in favour of the Belconnen United Sharks. They've only been able to add 1 try to their ledger in the second stanza here. There was a real rush of excitement about the Sharks, I think, in the first half, especially through Des Fai-Gaffer. He got himself into the position on the end of a couple of very sharp kicks, scored 3 tries, had them all in the books before the first 30 minutes were up. Only one of them was converted. We're starting to wonder whether the Bulls were going to be able to offer any resistance at all. Drury Lowe scored a try either side of half-time. Brought it back to 14-10, and the signs were there that the Bulls were perhaps going to have the better of the second half. Jordan Crane scored a try a little bit out of nowhere for the Sharks to re-establish their lead or extend their lead to 18 points to 10 as we see the penalty kicked with 90 seconds remaining, and then we've seen 3 tries, and now a penalty goal to the Gungahlin Bulls to take them out to a 30 points to 18 lead, and we have but 1 minute left on the clock this afternoon. So we won't have to talk too much after the game. Let's see what's left in this. I can't imagine it'll be a short kickoff, but they won't want to go too deep again. They've gone too deep twice this afternoon. Underneath it is Hay, takes it right on the goal line, charging up as Elliott. Elliott tries to bounce out of the tackle. But in the end, all we get is inertia and both players going to ground anyway. 50 seconds remaining. And the Bulls, well, they're trying to erase some of this points differential that they're carrying at the moment on the table. They want to get one more before the end of the game. 30 seconds left for them to do it. They're already up to halfway. Long ball. Quick hands to Lomax. On the central stripe. That's with Scholes. Gives it to Hay. Hay chip kicking through. Kicks his own, gets his own kick. Oh, who's retrieved that? I think that might be Brad Martin, and he's going to score under the post. He's given it off to Sato Kedia Oppo to score. And as the siren sounds, it's 34 points to 18 with a kick to come. Well, the Gungahlin Bulls showing the importance there of playing the full 80 minutes. And John Croyder, as we know in this Canberra Raiders Cup, sometimes points differential can be very, very important come the end of the season. And if you get the chance to score, albeit in a game you've already got run, you take it very late in the piece.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very tight competition. A lot of teams just around the finals contention. It's very unlucky for the Sharks. They played a very good game today. Scoreboard doesn't really reflect the evenness that was in the match, but the Bulls have done very well to capitalise on the whole situation. So we've just got Daniel Kidd lining up just in front of goals again to see how he can make this one look a little bit easier. I think all the cars driving on the road behind would better be careful. He's a good player, Kidd. He was actually named in the Australian schoolboy side last year. He's a very good player. And he's kicked it, and the ball's on the road.
And that means that in the end, it's going to read 36 points to 18. I don't think we can say here, John, that the Bulls were twice as good as the Sharks. In fact, for probably the first 50, 55 minutes of this game, I was more than happy to say that the Sharks were the better side. But certainly the fitter side, the stronger side, the Gungahlin Bulls getting the chocolates in the end this afternoon, just showing that you've got to be able to play the full 80 minutes. Yeah,
exactly. And just being in a winning position was something that the Sharks really haven't been in that situation this year. So they'll learn from this, and they'll definitely improve. And when they get their opportunity next, I think they'll take it. But the Bulls, as we said before, they were in the finals last year. They know what it takes to win, and as soon as they had a sniff, they took it. And while they did deserve the win. I wouldn't say they were twice as good as the Sharks. I thought the Sharks were excellent for the first 50 or so minutes.
No, indeed. Well, what else can we tell you? The try scorers for today for the victorious Gungahlin Bulls: 2 to Drury Lowe, 2 to Sato Oppo, and singles to Sam Bramich and Jack Elliott. That would be 6 tries this afternoon, and it was 4 tries to the Belconnen United Sharks. A hat-trick to Des Fagaffa, which will be somewhat tainted by the fact that they didn't win the match, but he can hold his head high. And indeed, I think Scott Logan, coach for the Belconnen United Sharks, look, he's got a young side. He's got a side that's still got a lot of players and a lot of combinations coming together. I think he can be happy with the first 60 minutes there, and there are signs of life that they can build on there. And look, maybe 2017 is not going to be their year, but there's certainly plenty to look forward to in coming seasons for this Belconnen United Sharks side. And even in the latter stage of the season, they may well just be the side that spoil a few other sides. John, final thoughts from you today?
Yeah, I was really impressed by the left edge of the Sharks. I thought BJ Sione and Jordan Crane were fantastic. But again, as we said, Bulls deserved winners. But I do think as Scott Logan spends more and more time with this Belconnen Sharks side, as you said, I think they're going to be a lot better by the end of the season.
That's for sure. Not much else we can say here other than that it's getting quite cool in the nation's capital. I can tell you that it's 16 points apiece at Yass at the moment. That game's got plenty of time to go. Keep tabs on that on Twitter or by following the Canberra Raiders Cup page on Facebook as well. And I'm sure the score will come through there. Probably around half an hour left. In fact, 20 minutes left in that game. So there you go. So some scores to come through from there. Next week for these sides, for the Belconnen United Sharks, they are at West Belconnen. For the Gungahlin Bulls, they are at home to Goulburn. And repeating our Canberra Raiders Cup game in the Ospreakers Canberra Raiders Cup round 6 next weekend. I look forward to your company there as we take the trek south to Greenway, where the Tuggeranong Bushrangers will take on the Woden Valley Rams. That's a game that's got all sorts of implications with those sides well in the thick of it for a finals berth. On behalf of the crew from Bar TV and everyone from the Canberra Raiders Cup, this is Chris Coleman signing off from the O'Connor Enclosed Oval this afternoon.